Ricky the Dragon Hong here. Today I am with David Magic Man Arquette, and we are talking You Cannot Kill David Arquette. David, I have to tell you, wow, I absolutely love this thing.
Oh,
if you could have done a video reaction of my face, it would have gone viral while I was watching it.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you so much. I love your toys back there. That's awesome.
No, and yeah, exactly, man. And for you, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, man, that was a great match.
What I loved about this is that different wrestlers came to mind. Jerry Lawler, DDP. And DDP didn't have the Diamond Dallas Page. He didn't have the traditional path. He started off as a manager and then kind of started wrestling in his later years. I was wondering, like, did you want to maybe like do a slower transition as opposed to I'm just going to go start wrestling?
No, I mean, I love the whole manager stuff. I mean, Bobby the Brain Heenan's like my hero, the way he was a manager. I want to play Jimmy Hart in the new Hulk Hogan movie. I think that would be incredible.
You would be an amazing Mouth of the South.
Yeah, I would have to study it just to do it perfectly, but I know I could kill it. And he's such an incredible guy. He was really nice during the whole WCW time. But yeah, I never really thought of, approaching it any other way but to really do the work. I wanted to prove to people that I love wrestling, that I didn't mean to disrespect it, that I wanted to pay my dues and be seen as one of the boys in the locker room. So that's really what I set out to do, and I feel like I accomplished it. I hope wrestling fans really enjoy the film. It was also a love letter to them, to wrestling in general.
I was curious when you're going through this process, like, what was like the scariest moment? Because when I was watching this, other than like there's a very bloody incident, something that I thought was very terrifying was I think you were somewhere south and you decided to do some backyard wrestling, and I was like, man, there is nobody there to protect you from this.
No, that was a little freaky. I mean, to be honest, the first match back with RJ was really kind of like it's super hard to remain calm. And you rush everything when you're first learning how to wrestle in the ring in front of an audience. So that was really hard to sort of stay calm and do the moves and figure out, pacing and selling and just keeping it. And it was a lot harder hitting than I ever expected. It's a brutal sport. It's really takes a lot of, I don't know, a lot of strength to get through. I also had 3 fractured ribs during the whole time. So I was like hitting these, like every move that I hit, it just felt so painful. I mean, it's still a pain that like reverberates through my body thinking about it.
When you're a wrestling fan, there's definitely like wrestling moves that you want to learn. There's wrestling moves that you want to happen to you. I was wondering if you got to fulfill that, or there's certain ones you're like, I don't have the capability of doing this one.
Yeah, I mean, there's like a moonsault I was wanting to do, but you know what I mean? It's just such a spectacular looking, like high flying move. But you kind of fall into this place where you find out what you do well and what you can kind of, work into every match. And it becomes this thing where it's almost like a rock and roll band when they're touring. You want them to play their greatest hits. So It becomes something where you figure out what you do well, what works well, what the crowd reacts to. It's really that. It's like, I know if I throw a hurricanrana that it's going to get a pop. So we'll throw that early in the match to like on the comeback or whatever it is. So, so there's just little, or the turnaround or whatever, you just kind of find these moments and the way to construct a match just through experience, really.
I got to tell you, man, that flying head scissors is not something that I ever would think I could see you do. And it's amazing. Like the way you execute it, the way that it came off on screen, I was like, wow.
Yeah, the luchadors are really incredible. They really taught me a lot. And I didn't have a long period of time to work with them. But in that short period of time, they were really gracious. They didn't speak, one of them spoke English, but for the most part, they didn't speak English, and it was, you know, a lot of trust. There's a lot of trust involved in wrestling. So them trusting me and me trusting them, and just sort of, you know, there's also this element that I've learned that you just kind of have to go for it and commit. Like there's moments in wrestling where you're like, you know, you have to just fully commit, because if you only halfway do things, that's where everyone always gets hurt.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, you definitely 110% committed to this. You Cannot Kill David Arquette comes out on August 28th. Until next time, I'm Rick Hong. You've been watching Hollywood First Look Features.